free! If you want to see an additional 5-minute preview of this next Ultra Vegito episode for free, just sign up to my manga newsletter, mangaletter.com, using the links in the description or pinned comment, and simply enter an active email and your name, and it will be with you instantly after for free. So make sure to check your spam, junk, or other folder if you don't see it. This is a treat for every one of you who cannot afford the Patreon, so enjoy. But our scene would then change to finally back with the god killer Vegito and his force partner in crime Yamoshi. Both stood within the castle confines of Sector 5, having just now opened the portal towards Sector 4. And as Vegito would approach the dark gateway, a smile would be on his face as he would whisper, "Finally, Yamoshi. Finally! We get to see what the top 4 strongest emperors are like. Let's hope they make crime look like child's play." And though Yamoshi would remain silent, both him and Vegito would then step through and... but only to face a complete surprise once they would be through. What the? Vegito! I can't fly! As suddenly, in what looks like an infinitely dark expanse of space, the God Killer and Third would find themselves not stepping onto any ground, but instead falling instantly straight down a bottomless pit. And interestingly, as Yamoshi said, with no recourse to go back up, as for some reason their ability to fly had been stunted. He's right! I can't fly! What's going on here? And as Vegito would look behind calmly at Yamoshi, confirming this, "Stop looking at me and look down, you fool!" Yamoshi, in a complete contrast, would be screaming with great intensity, with his mouth and eyes wide open, as looking past the God Killer, he would see something that would need both their attentions and ASAP. We're done for! As with their bodies increasing in momentum and speed every second, they would race down uncontrollably, and below them, a strange fixture would be seen. An army of sharpened spikes bunched together, made from an unknown material, ready to impale both Saiyans on their inevitable arrival. Made of pink goo or not, this is going to hurt! Got any ideas, mortal? How primitive! As Vegito, annoyed by the situation, would just think for a moment as he would continue to fall rapidly. I see! As looking up to the air, Vegito would then notice the existence of what looks like a platform, a solid mound of ground floating in the sky, defying the laws of physics. So that's how this goes! As now realizing the quirks of this particular sector, Vegito would only giggle before unleashing his Godslayer energy blade of all things. Extend! As shooting the blade upwards mid-fall, the God Killer would aim directly for the platform above, immediately piercing it right through, using the energy blade as some sort of makeshift grapple hook. Works like a charm! Now, to get that other clown! As immediately halted in the air, as Yomoshi would continue to fly down, the Godkiller's grin would only grow. Before aiming his other free arm right towards the third until... super extending his arm Piccolo style, Vegito would grab a surprised Yomoshi like a helpless child. Not so fast! As with insane velocity, the Godkiller would then toss Yomoshi straight up back into the air and towards the platform above. All the while, Yomoshi's screams would change from one of fear to one of lost control. Ultimately succeeding, however, in allowing Yomoshi to land on his feet with a thud. Hold on! I'm coming, clown! As Vegito next would then quickly retract his blade, getting him closer and closer to the platform himself as the blade would get shorter. And before long, with a leap of his own, Vegito would reach atop of the floating chunk of land, as now both Saiyans would be stood upon it, contemplating their next move. With Vegito, with his arms folded, letting out... always a gimmick with these sectors, aren't there? If it isn't the weather, it's now something stopping our flight. How interesting. This reminds me of a fight I once had against a destroyer. As Yomoshi, not taking too much of the Godkiller's words in, would continue to just look up and say, it's true. This is going to be a hindrance, especially once we have to fight. But on the bright side, at least the path is clear. Look above you, kid. As finally revealed in the Saiyan's eyeline would be the task ahead, as hundreds, if not thousands, of floating platforms would exist above, all rising towards an unknown goal. And with no other path visible, this would be all that would be left in between Vegito and his next demonic victim. And if you want more, the next video is already up live on my Patreon right now for over 4,500 plus incredible patrons who are getting early access episodes for life, as well as actively seeing hidden Ultra Vegito content. And if you want that too, head to my Patreon to see the full next video and see just what insane turn of events happens next in yet another very long episode. So join now and talk to me. Links are in the description and pinned comment.